All right, good evening, everyone, once again. Thanks for your patience. We were talking just before we started this presentation about where we're from. So before we start, I'm just going to do a brief land acknowledgement. I am tuning in from Vancouver, the unceded territories of the Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, and Stolo people, among others, of the Hunkaminam speaking groups. And if you wanted to learn more about the peoples of the land that were here before us and are still here today, you can use ournativeland.ca. Awesome resource. And it's quite relevant to speaking about the earth today because its history matters, how we tread on the land matters, because we leave footprints, we leave memories, and we leave an impact. We can do things here together, and history is important. All right. So our impact today, we're talking about light pollution and what we can do. Earth Hour, turn off your lights, and more actions. Okie dokie. So we're going to make this pretty interactive, whether you're watching the recording or you're here right now in the room with us. I cannot see your faces, so Caitlin will help me out doing tech and in the chat. So can anyone name any sources of light right now? I know you're all in the dark listening to this. Feel free to type in the chat. Zach, go ahead.
Light bulbs.
What sources of light are there? Light bulbs?
Light bulbs.
Natural sources?
And the sun.
Uh-huh. The moon, I see in the chat too.
Torches. Light torches. And that's all I can say.
Okay, that's a great start. Great start. There are so many sources of light. The sun is a huge one. And torches and lights, light bulbs, LEDs these days. These are all things that are in our world more and more. So if you see this slide, we've got stars. Oh, we haven't got stars on this slide. Oof. Or fire, actually, although the sun is a burning ball of fire. Yes. So the benefits of light. I am such a day person, which is ironic since I'm holding this webinar. The benefits of light, we have sunlight, we have photosynthesis, so we can have green plants growing. Our flowers open to the light. We have cars, which have lights, so we don't get into accidents, hopefully. We have beautiful lights that we put up during holiday seasons. We have lamp posts, we have our laptops. What you're watching right now is backlit, so you can see it. We have lighthouses, which have helped navigation for many, many years. And before that, the stars, of course. So benefits of light are so many. Is it possible to have too much light though? What do you guys think? In the chat, reactions, thumbs up, it's, is it? Or it's not, thumbs down. There's never too much light. What do you think? Do you guys have emojis in the chat? Love it. Yes. Yeah, I hear you. Yes, too much. Okay. Why do you think it's too much? Let's explore. Well, you're correct, basically. There can be too much light. Like there can be too much anything. I love cake, but too much cake, I kind of feel sick. So what is light pollution? Well, something becomes pollution when it's too much, basically. It can become harmful. Specifically, when we talk about this stuff, we're talking about light pollution as human-caused light that is altering the natural flow and cycles of light in the sky, basically. So there's a rhythm to the sun, the moon, the stars, the way the earth turns. They're large cycles that we mess up, basically, for some good reasons. I like reading at night. I like seeing in the evening once the sun has gone down. But sometimes it's too much. Too much to the point where you can go blind. In fact, so many animals use the stars to navigate, they get very confused when there's too much light at night specifically, because we need the darkness to rest. So I'm going to do a little activity now. You guys are going to help me. What kind of creatures do you recognize? Any of these? What kind of creatures do you see on this page, this screen? Let's see how many night creatures you recognize.
Turtle, beavers, wolves, raccoons, turtles, birds, raccoons, beavers, owls.
Okay, I hear raccoon, correct. I hear owls, yes. Beavers, indeed. We have our little friend beaver that represents nature kids and also just a regular beaver. Turtles, yes. I'm still missing some animals. Do you see the guy at the bottom left of the screen? Who do you think that is?
Wolf.
Hiding.
Wolf.
A wolf. There is a wolf, yes. And hiding by the mushroom, we also have very hidden. It's a hedgehog. It's a hedgehog. Yeah. So our friend, the little hedgehog, is also nocturnal. We've got bats on there, and we've got Canada geese, as well as this little bird here is it's supposed to be a robin. Robins sleep at night. They don't usually do things at night. But you'll see the nighttime is important for day birds as well, specifically birds, because birds migrate. Not all birds, but many birds migrate, and they do so mostly at night. So they fly at night. Some fly in the day, but many make these journeys when it's dark, and they use the stars to light their way. So when we have too much light, it's very, very hard. They get very confused. So if you're doing a tiring journey and you have all this light confusing you, it's very frustrating, and a lot of bird deaths occur because big high rises are lit up at night. And then the turtles. Does anyone know why light is important for the turtles? Think of the baby turtles.
So they can stay warm.
Try it again.
So they can stay warm.
So they can see the moon? Yeah. So a lot of nature evolved together with, like, natural creatures evolved with the cycles of the skies, the moon, the stars, and the sun, primarily. And little turtles, they hatch on the full moon and use the full moon as they're navigating light to get to the ocean. So if we put streetlights next to a beach where they hatch, they start to go towards those streetlights and the street where the cars are. So it's a big push. Lots of people are trying to help the turtles by basically putting lower lights by the street so that when the full moon comes out, it can shine and light their way. So, believe it or not, can you believe that sea turtles can make it to the moon? Because they're basically blind when they're born. They can't see very well. So we're gonna pause the activity now. Oh, after my instructions. Basically, you're gonna turn a light on in one area from one direction, and then you're gonna close your eyes very gently, and you're gonna try and spin around a little bit so you're a bit confused, and then try and see the light without opening your eyes. So we're gonna pause the recording. So here, oh, is it working, Caitlin?
Yeah, it looks good now.
Does everyone see the screen?
Yeah.
Wonderful, welcome back. So you were sea turtles. You managed to close your eyes and still find the light like baby sea turtles. just shows how little light is needed to get through to our eyes, even when closed. And you also went outside, looked at the night sky. Hopefully it was cloudy and it wasn't clear sky that looked like this. Because in this picture, I don't know, what can you guys see? I think I see maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars? Maybe 8 stars? So, what about this picture? Isn't this one cooler? I definitely like this one better. So this is looking.
Yes.
Yes, it is cooler. So much cooler. And just to blow your mind, maybe you already guessed this. This is the same sky. So we have this. Look at that bright star. You can see that one bright star, right? Now I'm going to change the screen again. You see it again? It's the same patch of sky. So this is pretty crazy, I think. This is in the States. One picture is taken from a dark sky spot outside the city, and one is taken from inside the suburbs. It's pointing at the same space in the sky. This is what light pollution does. This is the Milky Way. It's an amazing sight that we can't see because we have too much light on at night. So this was in the States, in the southern sky. Country versus city, same spot in the sky. Here's another picture. We are looking again at the same spot in the sky. It's just how much light there is around. Can you imagine looking up? I think, I don't know. It just looks like a really cool sandy beach with all these cool pieces of sea glass on the left and on the right. That's okay. A bit boring. So this is a pretty famous constellation. Maybe some of you know it. Orion, many other names. Yeah, same view. I think we have a question. Barb, yeah, please go ahead.
It looks like glitter.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yes. Yes, it does. And you can see how there's color. There's color in the night sky. If you look on the right, it's kind of all the same color. More color comes from the light than the actual stars, but on the left, I've seen sky that looks like this. It's not just a camera image. You look up and there's so much light in the darkness. So this is another example of kind of what we live in. If you're in, most of you are from the Metro Van area, this is kind of what it's like here, not as bad. If you go up to the top of the mountain and you look down to the city, the sky over the city it looks like daytime almost. Over here, Phoenix, it has a lot more people than Vancouver. Yeah, so it's a little sad because they don't get to see any of that glitter. Okay. Just a little quote for you guys. Does anyone know Vincent van Gogh? He was a famous painter and he did a Starry Night. It's a very famous painting. So for my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream. Love that. Okay. So because this event was kind of inspired by Earth Hour, which is this past Saturday, every fourth Saturday of March, the turning off of lights for 1 hour at 8:30 your time I wanted to show you a video, kind of just so you know what it's all about. Let's see, you might have to bear with me here. I'm going to throw it in the chat. It's a little link. I think it's going to work better if you play it versus if I where is the chat? Here we go. Then if I play it. So does everyone see the link there? Those of you listening to the recording, you can find it in the notes below the recording. We'll make sure it's there for you. So I'm going to give you a minute to open it up and watch it because really cool. This is Earth Hour, so go for it and give me a little reaction once you're back. 1 minute. It's a 30-second video. Well, did everyone get to watch it? Is everyone back yet?
We are back, but we didn't have any audio for the video.
Oh no. Well, it's just cool music, to be honest. Maybe you can watch it afterwards and try again.
I liked it a lot.
Woo! Amazing. Yes. So that's Earth Hour. It's the globe. You saw lights turning off and then on because most time differences are 1 hour or 1 hour plus. So as the globe turned, right, we saw the lights go on and then off and then on and then off. It's pretty cool. So that movement started in 2007 in Australia, I believe. And it continues today. I don't know what you were doing Saturday at 8:30 on the 4th Saturday of March, but next year, lights off. Of course. It's so simple. Light pollution is one of those forms of pollution that we can do something about immediately. It's so cool. There are so many other things that are hard to sort out because they're so integrated with larger things like, well, I don't know if I could stop using plastic completely. Or, oh, how much energy do we have if we want to power a whole city? Like we have to think of so many solutions, but light pollution is something we can take a stand for now. So, yeah, do you have any thoughts? Does anyone want to say anything? Just think, you can actually make a difference right away. Zach, what thoughts do you have?
Well, I don't really have thoughts. I just have a question. I have a question. Was that Earth thing actually real or was it animation?
The second video
The second video was the Earth
with the
spinning
Earth
around.
turning. Was that for real?
I believe it is. So that one is from this year. They post.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. They post satellite footage of this happening, basically. I think that's why the quality is so bad. Because it's just a small image and it just happened. But it's pretty cool. I have another link for you that shows more like on the ground footage of these cool monuments being like with the lights being turned down at the Sydney Opera House, at the Colosseum in Italy, at the Parthenon in Greece. The Eiffel Tower shuts down. It's very cool. So I'm going to link those to you afterwards so you can watch them and continue your evening. I know video is glitchy, that's why I didn't include them directly in the presentation. Okay, this is an optional little thing just to get us tactile again because we're almost at the end of our time. So you already stood up, you already did all the things. Find something soft. Can you touch something soft? I feel like everyone's wearing something soft maybe, or have a blanket around them. All right. Did you find something dark colored? The theme is celebrating the dark, light pollution, enjoying the darkness. I don't know if you can see anything dark colored if it's really dark where you are. Now, take a moment and count how many lights there are in this room. Count the small lights too, and I want them in the chat. So do you have any blinking LEDs from the computer? The computer screen counts as a light. How many lights are on right now?
No, but one light is on.
We have 4.
4.
Yeah.
1. I heard 1. I heard 4. All the lights are off. Yeah.
So we have 10 lights on.
Well, you can compare it to basically when this is over and you turn lights on, how many lights are usually on? Just think about that.
No, it's how many lights on.
You've already won a prize because you turned off lights for this. I saw all your cameras at the beginning. You look very cozy. You do want a little ambient light when watching screens. It's better for your eyes, but we'll get into that. So what can you do? Turn off the lights. But really, I missed an E on that last slide. So really what you can do is direct your light. It's not about not using light. It's not about not being able to see. It's about being able to see more, because too much light, see the brightness on the left, it's blinding. You can't see anything. So this is a cool image from darkskies.org of what the city could do, but what you could do also if you have lights outside. You could have them fully exposed, shining every which way, or you could have them a little shaded. You can kind of put a hat on them, or you could put a proper hat on them, fully shielded. And if you want to get really fancy, which is really cool, you get sensors, motion sensors. So they stay off or dim until you need them to go on, basically when someone or something walks by. Okay. So Earth Hour is 1 hour. What about more? Well, again, I'm not going to put the clip in this particular portion as we talk, but this is really cool. I'll give you a little preview in a chat being like, do you like birds? I told you about how birds are really cool. how they fly up at night, high into the sky, really high, to migrate, to fly thousands of kilometers. Well, this clip, which I'll link you to later, is a very cool project by the Cornell University in association with Texas, like the state in the United States, the whole state, to try and help birds, where they turn off city lights in the evening, like for the whole night, not 1 hour, way more, for the whole night. I think it's very cool. So take a look afterwards. We're nearing the end here. So what can you do? We've got things you can do with lights that you could help. Joining this webinar, presentation, discussion, talking to each other, learning more, watching cool videos, just telling people about it, turning off your lights, but also getting out into the night. So this organization is amazing. They protect dark skies. I believe this photo you see might be Waterton Lakes National Park in Alberta. Looks very familiar to me. It is a designated dark sky spot, a place. And you can see in the background this massive Milky Way extending up into the sky. And this little light on the chateau, it's not very bright. But you can see so much. It's amazing. So we will link you to this as well. Another resource for you guys. Where are you? So we said we were all in Vancouver, Metro Vancouver, Coquitlam area, right? So this is the University of Colorado has done an interactive map where you can see the light pollution across the globe. This is just a clip from our area. As you can see, Vancouver is really red. It's really bright. But as you go outwards a little bit, it starts to get better. There's a lot of light where we live in big cities, basically. Yes. And just a reminder, it's not light pollution. Sometimes when we are overwhelmed or immersed in one way of being, we can be blinded to things, amazing, important things that are right in front of us. And that's light pollution. We just go through our days not really thinking about it. It's not something we do, most people, on purpose to pollute. But when we put up lights, we lose things. When we put up too much light, when we don't think about it, we lose this whole sky. And we impact so many of our natural friends, our neighbors, those lovely animals that live next to us that we want to see, that we live with. And some of us live in their hood, basically, their neighborhood. So it's good to remember that we can think outside the box. And less light means more things to see. Before we jump in the chat, we have a few things. If you're watching the recordings, this will be outdated. However, it does happen every year. Oh, not the eclipse, but International Dark Sky Week. So there's really cool stuff going on next week. Eclipse, solar eclipse for those in 2024, very cool. And International Dark Sky Week happens in April every year. So go check that out. And of course, go forth and adventure in the night. Ask your leaders, ask your clubs what you're doing, go out yourself and find a spot. Check your calendar, put the full moon and the new moon in your calendar. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We're gonna chat a little bit now, but I'm gonna stop the recording.